being licensed by Isa Muzamil, being licensed by Ustaz Kirchon. Bar must be one. Bar must be one.
الاصلاح والازدهار. الاصلاح والازدهار. Seems like there is some spice. اصلاح اصلاح اصلاح. اصلاح اصلاح اصلاح. الجانب اللي بيغني ده فوق شنو يا جماعه؟ ما فوق يجي. Yeah, this is it. Thank you.
Pivotal moment in the history of our esteemed association, and indeed the legal landscape of our beloved country. Confidence is not a destination reached overnight. It is a journey paved with the lessons learned from mistakes and experience. As I stand before you, I am humbled by the weight of responsibility that accompany the candidacy for the presidency of South Sudan Bar Association. For those who don't know me, my name is Red Ring Ball. I consider myself a soldier, a servant of justice, a dedicated advocate for the rule of law, a helpful visionary for the future of our profession in South Sudan, in particular, and neighboring countries at large. Our journey as a legal practitioners is in this young nation has been laden with challenges. But gain from our mentors and experience, it has been equally filled with an opportunity to grow, reform, and significant contribution to fabric our society. The legal profession is not just a career path. It is a calling to save, to uphold justice, and to the voice and to be a voice for those whom cannot speak for themselves. It is with the sense of a profound responsibility and unwavering confidence in our collective ability, effect change, but I present to you our campaign manifesto, which I'm going to go through it one by one. Under the Before I proceed, highlight the key points, the things that we have incorporated into our manifesto. I would like to call upon my RAN Max, which is Molana Mutru. For all of you to know, is vying for the post of the Vice President. And I want to call upon my land colleague, my Stanley Jambo, who is vying for the Secretary General. For everybody to know, these are my team. These are my arms that are going to support me to achieve whatever we have incorporated into this manifesto. Thank you. As it was stipulated before by my land two colleagues, John and Konkile, I would like to summarize the key objectives of this manifesto, starting from institutional and regulatory reform. Sincerely speaking, since we have joined this profession has been going through a lot of challenges. It has been going through a lot of difficulties, which has resulted, we cannot say that the regulation was not in place, but it was at some point a little bit weak. Reform and Prosperity came in to reinstore the regulations and to regulate the status of our institution. Disciplinary team, because instead of talking about others, let us first regulate ourselves, subject ourselves for an internal accountability and discipline. By empowering the Bar Council, working together with the stakeholders from the other government institutions that are interconnected with the Bar Session. Lawyers across the country have been facing challenges on their right. They are soldiers and defenders of the right, but they don't even defend for themselves. That is why Reform and Prosperity has introduced what we call it a remuneration bill, and it's going to be passed as long as the election has been conducted. Central Committee has been formed. We also have other bills that are guiding the profession of this profession. Admission has been so soft, with no regulations. Reform and Prosperity is going to work hard through the council, Bar Council, to regulate the admission of the new lawyers by the coordination with the members of Bar Council. Lawyers have been operating their affairs without an office that identifies them. Reform and Prosperity, they are going to work hard to make sure the lawyers, they are independent, they have their own premises, that they run their affairs freely. And this is one of the key factors. It's one of the key factors. We incorporated it into our manifesto. Reform and Prosperity is going to return and reverse back the respect of lawyers among the other state institutions, like judiciary. Lawyers, they don't have a courtroom. Reform and Prosperity will make sure that the court, with the coordination with judiciary across the country, that we have been given a space that for the lawyers to operate their own affairs freely and maintain the level of confidentiality. Building is one of our key and core values. We incorporate into this particular manifesto, whereby we are going to coordinate with our colleagues in the Ministry of Justice, our colleague at the Junior University. With the Ministry of Justice, we are going to cooperate by instituting legal training center or legal training institute, which is LTI. It already has been there. The bill has been passed, but it has not been instituted. This one we are going to work hard to make sure that this body has been functionalized. With the Juba University and other universities across the South Sudan, we are going to cooperate concerning the LDC. We are going to introduce the LDC program among the new lawyers and whoever is interested. This one, as Reform and Prosperity, we have included into our manifesto. South Sudan is now become a part and parcel of East Africa community. Our representation in East Africa is very low. If I'm not saying zero, I would say that's very low. So Reform and Prosperity is going to prioritize a representation of regional and international bodies, whereby Bar Association will be a member in East Africa Law Society, in Pan-Africa Lawyers Union, in International Lawyers Union. This is one of our key objectives. Aligned with the capacity building, Reform and Prosperity is going to conduct a continuing training continuing training program. We are going to do seminars, workshops, and we send lawyers abroad to go and do a further study as a capacity building. Reform and Prosperity is also committed to provide a welfare for its members. Lawyers have been suffering, have been facing the challenges of this life without any support from the bar association. We also come up with a policy whereby Reform and Prosperity, leading the bar association, we are going to introduce health insurance for the lawyers and their families. Reform and Prosperity came to the attention that there is a need for digitalization of this profession. Digitalization means bar association should be online to access the information, to control the data, to maintain the confidence in the profession, to provide a transparency. Reform and Prosperity has come up with a strategy plan. This strategy is to digitalize this profession, whereby we should have our website, we should have a cloud where we are keeping all the key documents, and each and every lawyer will have an access to that cloud. Reform and Prosperity, in this manifesto, we have identified the key factors that has been facing this profession, whereby lawyers they distance themselves from the government institution, of which, as my learned colleague concurrently stated earlier, that bar association is a key and partial of the government wing. Is a wing number 4. It's an arm of the government, arm number 4. Bar association has been distance themselves, ironing out some grievances or some misunderstanding that has been happening. With Reform and Prosperity, we want to send a message that we are a part and parcel of this government. So let us maintain the level of cooperation so that tomorrow there is no lawyer will be subject to unfair arrest. Reform and Prosperity, it is a plan, it is a project. In 3 years' time, we are not going to achieve and implement all these objectives, but we are here to put the foundation to establish, we are going here to establish the foundation for the next generation to come. Looking into all these projects, activities, programs, I, at the moment, as a candidate for South Sudan Bar Association, in my term, I will not be able to finish them. Construction of the head office, it required at least 3-4 years. Providing legal training and sending people abroad, it required 2-3 years. So this one, we are putting it as a foundation. We are in Reform and Prosperity, we have categorized our manifesto into three main strategy plan. We have a long-term strategy plan, we have a medium, and we have a short term. A short term, these are the plans that we are going to implement immediately as long as we have taken the lead of this profession. Ladies and gentlemen, highlight in Arabic a little bit for the public consumption and public interest. في هذه الثانية دعوني أن أكرر ما تقدمت به سابقا ابتداء من قاعات الخاصة بالمحامين، حيث أننا جميعا نمارس أعمالنا تحت الأشجار ومحلات الشاي، وهذا لا يليق بمكانة المحامي. نحن في الاصلاح والازدهار أتينا لنقول هذا كفى. لدينا الإمكانية أن نمتلك غرفة خاصة بنا داخل المحاكم، ويكون لدينا مكتبة خاصة بنا داخل المحاكم، ويكون لدينا كافتيريا خاصة بنا للخدمات داخل المحاكم، وهذه من ضمن مشاريع التي ضمناها في هذا المنفذ. رأينا أيضا أن جميع المحامين على مدار على جنوب السودان لا يمتلك أي أحد جراءة ليحارب عن حقه، كما أن القضائية هيئة القضائية لا يوجد أي سند يحمي به حقوق المحامي فيما يتقبله من مشقة وعناء وتعب لدي الموكلين، حيث أن أي محامي يعاني من الحصول على حقوقه. لما؟ لأن ليس هنالك قانون يحمي ويحفظ حقوق المحامي. نحن في الاصلاح والازدهار قد قمنا بإعداد مستودة قانون رسوم وآداب المحاماة. في المهنة كثير من الزملاء أي أن مهنة المحاماة يدخلها حديثي التخرج من أكثر من نافذة، النافذة الناطقة باللغة العربية والنافذة الناطقة باللغة الإنجليزية، ومن تلك النافذتين تجد أن الممارسة العملية في المحاكم قد يغيقه اللغة الرسمية التي يتم استخدامها. ومن هذه المشاكل نحن في الاصلاح والازدهار قررنا أن نتعاون مع الزملاء في وزارة العدل وجامعة جوبا والجامعات الموجودة هنا أن ننشئ معهد للتدريب والتأهيل القانوني، وهي تعتبر معهد برضه للغة، حتى يتمكن كما ذكر الأخ كونكري سابقا يتمكن دارسي اللغة العربية التعلم الإنجليزية، ودارسي اللغة الإنجليزية التعلم العربية، وهذه من ضمن أولوياتنا لحل تلك المعضلة التي تعيق العمل اليومي للمهنة المحاماة. والكثير جنوب السودان ظل دولة معروفة في إطار الغطر الضيق، رغم أننا أعضاء في المنظمات الإقليمية والمنظمات الدولية، إلا أن وجودنا في تلك المنظمات كانت ضئيلة جدا جدا. لذا في الاصلاح والازدهار سوف نقوم بتفعيل تلك العلاقات وإظهار تلك الوضوية والمساهمة الفعالة في السياسات العامة المتعلقة بالإقليم أو المتعلقة بالدولة. نقابة المحامين لم تكن لديها الكثير أو لم تواكب العالم ما وصل إليه العالم الآن من حيث التكنولوجيا، لذلك أتينا بنظام معلوماتي يجمع كل البيانات الخاصة بكل المحامين المصريين في السودان. حتى لا أطيل الحديث لأنني أكرر نفسي بلغتين، دعوني أناشد الزملاء في الطرف الآخر من عبر وسائل الإعلام والحضور الكريم، لأننا نمضي قدما وأمامنا الانتخابات العامة. عليه دعونا نكون خير مثال للشعب السوداني أجمع. دعونا نقوم بانتخابات نزيهة وشفافة. أدعوكم جميعا في التحالف على أننا جاهزون أن نوقع ميثاق شرف إذا فاز التحالف، وكلنا جميعا في الاصلاح والازدهار نعتبر متحالفين، وإذا فاز الاصلاح والازدهار فأول نعشدكم أن تكونوا إصلاحيين وازدهارين، لأننا في الاصلاح والازدهار أهدافنا أهداف لا تفرق ما بين محامين وآخر، لا تفرق أين أنت انتماؤك، هل كنت تنتمي للإصلاح والازدهار، بل تلك المشروع هي مش مشروع الذي عالج كل مشاكل المشاكل التي تمر عليها المهنة في جنوب السودان. كذلك أناشد الزملاء في الإصلاح والازدهار أن دعونا نرتقى، لأننا محامون، لا ننجر وراء الشائعات، لا ننجر وراء الألفاظ التي لا يليق بمهنتنا كمحامين. دعانا نعيش كمحامين نلتزم الأخلاقيات وأدبيات بتاعت المهنة. أخيرا دعونا نقدم الشكر والتقدير لكل من تكبد عناء وأتى هنا. أقول لكم إنه لشرف لنا أن تكونوا معنا، وإن شاء الله وجودكم تكون إضافة حقيقية مش في إطار بتاع الظهور، بل إضافة حقيقية في الفكر. لأننا في الإصلاح والازدهار منفتحين على أي فكر مثمر وبيعود بالعائد لمهنة القانون أو لمهنة المحاماة بصفة خاصة وقانونيين جنوب السودان بصفة عامة. ومرحبا بكم بأفكاركم النيرة، ومرحبا بكم بنصاياكم. أخيرا أقدم الشكر لكل جهات الإعلام والموجودين في داخل جنوب السودان وخارج جنوب السودان، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
RPG